Am I the asshole by technical tiger 2? 8 for not expecting my daughter to pay for her brother my younger son's wedding after she was disinvited due to fiancé. NTA. Who removes their sister from the guest list to make room for their fiancé's friend? Seriously, that's a massive asshole move. Why should they still expect her to pay for their wedding when she isn't invited? This is so ridiculous. I question whether this is a real post. Haha, Sam's not really fond of Rita, but they've never met without me being there, so. NTA lol, does John really expect Rita to pay for a wedding she was disinvited from? They literally kicked Rita instead of the dozens of other people who had less contribution. Let them go NC, win-win. What does NC mean? Either I missed it or I just don't know. Hell no, you're TA. You are NTA 100,000%. Your son sounds like the spoiled one and needed this reality check. Sounds like your daughter has helped more than enough, and if the son is gonna go NC over this, then he can write the fuck off. Write the fuck off, all the way off. Fuck off to the next galaxy, pause for a breather, then keep going and fuck off to the edge of the cosmos, and after that, if necessary, keep fucking off after that into the impossible void of space. Is what John needs to do. Edit. Wow. Thank you for the awards. NTA. But this story is really hard to believe. Your son is disinviting his sister who is paying for everything because a mysterious long lost friend shows up? How far down the list of guests is he, at this point, where that seems reasonable to him? Are you his only other guest? And she's been paying for your life since she was 21? Color me skeptical. Agreed, very far-fetched, and the style of writing isn't very relatable, all seems made up. It's for letting your daughter financially support everyone in the first place. This is the right answer. Very strange indeed. NTA. Info. You mentioned your children having an okay relationship, and if John decided to disinvite Rita without a second thought, it's probably not the first time John and Sam have been ungrateful. So why does your daughter still steps up financially? Why didn't you step up when your husband died? Thank you. This was my first thought only 2 sentences in. A 21-year-old who lost her father did not need to step up. It wasn't her job to support the child that OP brought into the world. That was OP's job. And to support themselves. When does Rita get to live her life? Wow. NTA. Well, a bit better for using your daughter for a decade, starting when she was 21. But for this issue, NTA. John is entitled, and he feels entitled because Rita has always been expected to fund his life. That never should have happened. If John wanted to go to college, he should have worked for it instead of Rita putting her life on hold for John. Now he has expectations and is 100% willing to treat his sister badly in order to have those met. Sam is the same way. Rita needs to send him a bill for his college and any other money she has spent on him over the last decade and then cut contact. I would love to see the look on his face when he gets that bill. Maybe then he'll realize how much work his sister has done for him. NTA. Rita is only 3 years older than your son, and she paid a lot of things for the family. She is only 3 years older. That's nothing. She should not have been paying things for your son, and your son is now old enough to pay for his own wedding. How can you still be involved with this wedding when they are kicking your daughter to put a long lost friend of the bride? The bride should be kicking someone from her own family. Also, Rita is paying for the bride's guests as well. Everyone in this family is taking advantage of Rita. You live with her, and John got a lot of money from her for college, I guess, and other stuff. Rita has to start saving her money and putting it on herself and her life. This is ridiculous. You are all leeches. This is what I was thinking. I agree with you. I get things were rough at the beginning when Arp's husband passed away, but for everyone to just continue to depend on Rita for over a decade seems very entitled and unfair. When does she get to live her life? Wow. How on earth did your son end up so entitled? Or has Sam been putting this all in his head? How awful for Rita. John and Sam are most definitely TA here. Seems mom did a pretty good job training son, since mom has been leeching for over a decade of Rita as well. Yeah, no NTA. The only spoiled egotistical sounding person here is brothers Fee and K. She should have a place in the wedding regardless of how close they are. She's literally been paying for him for his life. How spineless is the son that he can't put his foot down and support his sister who has supported him his entire life. WTF. How entitled are they? His sister had stepped up time and time again providing financial support when she didn't have to, and that's the thanks she gets? Absolutely NTA. Your son and his Fee and K are incredibly spoiled and entitled people. Barely engaged and already turning into zealous. I hope this friend is worth losing his sister, because that's what's going to happen. If it were me, I'd be NC they don't deserve her. I hope she enjoys her trip away and spoils herself. NTA. Your son and future Dill just learned an important lesson. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Seriously though, I can't believe they are stupid enough to uninvite the primary person bankrolling their wedding. Even if your daughter was not funding their wedding, their reason for rescinding her invitation was completely disrespectful. On top of that, the fact they are saying you spoiled her and called her egotistical is so ironic considering they are acting like spoiled brats. NTA, let her go and see. If your son has any respect for his family, he'll see how disrespectful and nasty his Fee and K is being. Has he said much in this whole ordeal? Or is he just kind of being the messenger for his oh so special bride? I get it. It's her day and her rules, blah blah. You don't remove the person who has been financially supporting you your entire life for your Fee and K's friend who just magically reappeared. His Fee and K's insert very harsh words, and needs to get a grip with her mentality. Rita doesn't deserve to be milked of her hard-earned cash and disrespected. You guys need to stand your ground and watch as either he realizes now that Sam is just gonna use his family, or watch as he takes her side and basically backhands all that Rita has done for him and for this wedding. NTA. Sam is showing your family how controlling she is. Shame on your son for throwing his very generous sister under the bus. You did right. It's hard to know when to speak up, but Rita was getting bullied and she, as such a giver, needed your support. NTA. Your son is very wrong for how he is doing his sister. It is amazing that she was able to step up and help you both out when she didn't have to. It's a huge shame that her brother is doing her this way and treating her like this. She shouldn't have to pay a damn dime towards their wedding, and don't you dare let her. He and his wife are very entitled. NTA, and I applaud you for having the back of your adult child who is being taken advantage of by your horrible to-be Dill. Wow. I am so glad you aren't like these other parents we see on here. And it sounds like your Dill is trying to isolate your son from the rest of the family, and probably trap him into marriage. I'd be worried. About bloody time you had your daughter's back. Poor woman has been used by you and your arsehole son for far too long. Is it? Good lord, NTA. Not you, not Rita. Your son and his Fee and K, however, are TA and ho. NTA, why is the couple expecting any type of funding from Rita in the first place, question mark?